The navigation bar is a user interface component that you can use to access all of AutoCAD's drawing navigation tools, such as the steering wheels, pan, zoom, 3D orbit, and show motion. The navigation bar floats over and along one side of the current model window. By default, the navigation bar appears on the right side of the drawing window, just below the view cube. You can start any of the navigation tools by clicking one of the buttons on the navigation bar, or by selecting one of the tools from a list that is displayed when you click the smaller portion of a split button. For example, if you click the small arrow below the Zoom Extents button, notice that you can see a menu listing the other zoom options. To zoom into a rectangular area, you can choose the Zoom Window tool. AutoCAD immediately prompts you to select the opposite corners of the area into which you want to zoom. After completing the zoom operation, notice that the Zoom Window option has now become the default zoom mode in the navigation bar. This is true of the other tools in the navigation bar as well. You can reposition the navigation bar if you wish. To do so, click the small arrow in the lower right corner of the navigation bar to display a menu, and then expand the docking positions flyout. Notice that by default, the navigation bar is linked to the view cube. When this option is selected, if you choose a different location, such as bottom left, notice that both the view cube and the navigation bar are immediately repositioned based on your selection. If you clear the Link to View Cube checkbox, however, you can then click the grip handle near the top of the navigation bar and then drag the bar to reposition it along one of the sides of the current drawing window. If you position the navigation bar near the top or bottom edge of the window, it changes to a horizontal orientation. Notice that each window has its own navigation bar. If the side of the window is not long enough to show the entire navigation bar, the bar is truncated to fit. In that case, the navigation bar includes a More Controls button that you can click to access the additional tools that are not currently displayed. The Customize button also lets you choose which tools appear on the navigation bar. By default, all of the available tools will be visible. You can turn tools off by clearing their checkmark. For example, if you don't use the Show Motion tool, you can clear its checkbox. Notice that now, the Show Motion tool no longer appears in the navigation bar. To restore a tool, simply click the Customize button again and reselect its checkbox. Notice that although the view cube appears in the list of available tools, it is grayed out in the Customize menu. As you've already seen, the view cube and navigation bar are closely related. Whenever the view cube is visible in the drawing window, it does not appear in the navigation bar. However, if you disable the view cube so that it is no longer visible in the drawing window, which you can do by switching to the View ribbon, clicking on the User Interface tool, and then clearing the View Cube checkbox, notice that by default, the View Cube button then appears in the navigation bar. You can then restore the View Cube to the drawing window by clicking on the View Cube button in the navigation bar. If you have a 3D Connections 3D mouse, you will also see a 3D Connection mouse tool within the navigation bar. In that case, you can use options in the navigation bar to change the behavior of your 3D mouse. You can also turn off the navigation bar by clicking its Close button, the small X in the upper right corner of the navigation bar. If you have closed the navigation bar and wish to see it again, you can turn it back on using the User Interface tool in the Windows panel of the View ribbon. Simply switch to the View ribbon, click the User Interface tool, and select the navigation bar checkbox.